The following program contains scenes which are violent in nature. The material is being performed by professionals and should not be attempted at home. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hi, I'm Mike Arsenault and welcome to Urban Self-Defense. In this series, we look at what happens when everyday urban situations become dangerous. These days, when people need cash, they automatically head to an instant teller without even thinking about it, even though they could be leaving themselves vulnerable. In this episode, Jason Carter of the Snow Lion Martial Arts Jujitsu Academy will show you some simple self-defense techniques that could potentially save your life and save your money. In this scenario, Jason gets his money out of the machine, puts his wallet back in his pocket when he's grabbed by an unarmed assailant. Now it's my turn to inflict some damage. Kevin, first of all, welcome back.
Thank you.
How was the vacation?
It was excellent.
Good. So, Jason, I'm going to go through this scenario here. Does it matter how much money you have? Because I can tell you right now, if Kevin's approaching me and he sees my account balance, he's going to see about $40 in my checking account. He's probably just going to turn around and leave.
Unfortunately, these people have no idea. All they know is that you're an instant teller and you are either depositing or withdrawing money. The only time you're going to go there is for one or the other.
Okay, so I'm at the instant teller here. I'm doing my business. I don't want to actually type in my code so the people at home don't take that $40. So we'll go through this, and then so Kevin's coming at me, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
So as you turn away from the instant teller,
Yeah. Yes?
as you turn away from the instant teller, you're going to be grabbed.
Okay, so I'm got my
so
money.
The money, you turn it
Boom,
around,
turn around,
bang,
grabbing
you're
my
grabbed.
wrist.
Okay? First thing you got to remember is he wants your wallet, he wants your money.
Yeah.
So you want to get the other hand up, protect yourself first thing, right? Now what you're going to do is you're going to loosen them up because you need to get away from this grip.
Okay.
So you're going to basically kick him in the groin.
Okay.
Okay, so you're going to throw your kick
Oh, I'm throwing the kick right away.
right away.
Okay, Kev, did you miss this last week?
I didn't miss it at all. Actually.
Okay, so kick, boom.
Okay, as soon as you plant your foot back down,
So I'm not following through.
no,
I'm coming
because you
back.
still want to keep some space here.
Okay.
Because you have no idea. He might look like he doesn't have a weapon, but you never know.
Okay, so I'm
Kick, step back. As soon as you step back, that's going to start loosening up this grip. But
Okay.
to help it, you're going to roll your hand to the sky. So you're exposing his fingers to the sky.
Okay.
Okay, from here, you're going to open up your hand, turn it towards him,
So what is this? What is the point of this? Like, why can't I just start pushing him now?
because the weakest point of a person's grip is between their first finger and thumb. That's the
okay.
weakest point of their grip. If you just try to pull, it's going to create a tug of war. Biggest guy is going to win. And in this case, I think you're going to lose.
Okay, so if I go like this and then I can already feel that's
Exactly.
not as
So
strong.
you're going to turn it up. Now turn your palm towards him, because now what you're going to do is create some space so you can hit him. You're going to slide in, push against him. As you push right away, followed by a palm heel to the
Boom.
head. Yep. You want to do 3 of them as you move in.
Okay.
After the third, now I want you to pull this thumb towards your far ear. As you do so, it pulls it right out between those fingers.
Okay. Okay, so let's try that. Let's try that one again. One more medium speed. So, okay, so I'm at the instant teller.
You turn,
across,
he grabs
boom.
your wrist.
So
First thing, protect your head.
first,
hand up.
hand up,
Because
okay.
he could be wanting to hit you.
That's true. Yeah. So I just don't want to think about the wrist. He's got
No,
another hand there
exactly.
too, right?
So you bring up your other hand automatically, instinctively.
Okay.
Now you're going to kick him in the groin.
Keeping the block up.
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
Kick him in the groin.
Boom.
As soon as you plant that foot now,
Back.
palm comes up, turn it towards him, and push, and start hitting him. 2, 3. Now pull that towards
And
your
then-
ear,
And then
and
back.
you're free.
Seems pretty easy. I think.
Well, let's do it one more time, but a little faster, and without my help this time.
With it. Oh, okay.
So I'm going to step back. and we'll let Kevin attack you.
Kevin, take it easy. I know you've been off for a week. Don't pull anything, okay? Okay, coming here. Boom. Groin kick.
Excellent.
I think I'm getting good at this, Jason.
You are so. Lots of practice.
So so when I turn, he's grabbing the wrist, I guess. So that's the main takeaway from this is, again, because I wasn't remembering to keep that other arm up and block.
The first thing I teach any time, as soon as someone touches you, that other hand should come up and protect yourself. Because he has 2 arms. He could use both of them. And chances are, if he grabs you, chances are he's going to slug you with the other one. So as soon as he touches you, get that hand up instinctively. Anytime someone touches you, boom, the hand should come up instinctively.
Okay, and again, in that turning the wrist, that is key because that's going to help me kind of push him away. Because if he grabs my wrist there, I can't really do anything. I need to get this almost separation, right? Between
turn, exactly. You want to make that space, but then close it quickly with the push and strike, strike, strike.
Perfect. Okay, great. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Kevin. We'll be right back on Urban Self-Defense.
Here's a self-defense technique you learn in less than a minute. We like to call this a lapel grab or a tough guy grab. Someone grabs you. Well, first thing I need to do is I need to get him a little closer to me. He could be pretty tall, could be pretty long armed. So I'm going to take my one hand and I'm going to drop it on the top side of his elbow, on the inside of his arm. My other hand is going to come up, striking him in the chin using the palm of my hand. You try to do this in one simple motion. So it's strike, pull him in. I pull him towards me. From here, I'm going to grab a hold of his chin, circling his head in a circle towards the floor, controlling him to the ground, push off, and make some space. We're going to try that one more time, a little quicker this time. So he grabs, strike, turn his head, drop him to the floor, push off, make some space. There's one more tip to help keep you safe.
In this next scene, the danger escalates as Jason is approached by an attacker with a weapon. Kevin, so you found your knife. Let's see Jason get out of this one. Jason, as you've mentioned in previous episodes, there's an inherent danger to a knife attack. Unfortunately, you have to go in with the expectation that you are going to get cut at least a little bit.
Unfortunately, you're right, Mike. But the biggest thing to remember about a knife situation is how to cover the body and where to get cut and where not to get cut.
So is there something people should think about? Because I mean, being cut with a knife is going to be a pretty traumatic experience, but obviously it's a lot better than the worst case scenario. So do they just have to go with it, or do you have any advice for people?
The biggest thing is don't even think about that. You know, it's like driving a car and always worrying about what's in the road in front of you. You drive, and when things happen, you go with it and you overcome it. In this case, it's no different. You have that thought, but you keep it in the back of your mind, because what you're going to trust in is where to protect yourself and where not to get cut.
Okay, so you have your money here. Kevin approaches with a knife.
Exactly. As soon as he's aware of my attack as he's coming in, first thing I want to do is offer him this. I'm hoping this is the only thing he wants at first. So that's why, if you notice, I threw it at his feet and said, hey, take my wallet.
So you would just rather have him take it and just get out of here?
Exactly. If that's all he wants, situation's done, I'm safe. I get to go home.
But right? I have Harvey's coupons in my wallet, and I don't want to give Kevin my free burgers.
Unfortunately, that free burger is better than, unfortunately, maybe getting cut someplace you wouldn't like to get cut.
Well, we'll agree to disagree on this one. Okay, so you throw the wallet at his feet. Kevin comes in.
Yeah, he comes in with us now. Maybe he wants more than my wallet. He panics, and he's going to stab me. So if he's going to basically come in with a thrusting attack. If you notice, when I threw that wallet down, I made more space. Two, I threw it down, I backed up.
Which is, again, is another common theme. You want to create space between your attacks.
Exactly, gives me more time to react and move. So when he comes in this time, I'm going to do what's called a cross body X block. I'm going to cover basically all my major organs and arteries. So I'm covering right from basically my groin line to the side of my neck.
So this is, sorry Kevin, just back up for a second. So this is what we were talking about a few seconds ago about protecting where do you want to get cut. It's a lot better to be cut on a forearm, right, or your elbow, around your elbow, than
take it anywhere in this area.
Okay.
Because if worst case scenario, he stabs, if he pulls the blade back, he's just going to cut my arms.
Okay.
If they weren't there, he would cut across my torso and cause obviously a lot more damage to my body.
So how's the proper way to do that block? Just
we'll take our bottom hand, we're covering all the way down, basically to our pocket.
Yep.
Palm towards us. The other hand is palm towards us. We're going to bring it all the way up to our neck. The key is now is I'm going to squeeze my arms together. So I'm basically covering my entire body here.
This kind of feels like the Macarena.
Yeah, something like that, like a good hug.
Okay. All right, good. So we have the Macarena block.
Yep. The stab comes.
Okay.
We've done our block.
Yep.
Okay. As soon as I've blocked, first thing I want to do now is I'm concerned about this hand that controls the weapon. In many other situations that we talked about, what about his other hand? Right? In this case, I'm only worried about one thing, and this is this knife. So once I've done my block, I'm going to transfer and basically grab control of this entire arm and his hand. I want control of that knife. That's the only thing I'm concerned about right now. Even if he tries to hit me with his other hand, I will take that while I'm controlling this.
And as you said, that's different from a previous scenario when you had the block up there for the other hand. We just want to focus on that.
Exactly. This is the most dangerous thing I need to worry about right now. So I'm going to trap that, grab it tight, control this arm. Okay. From here, I'm going to basically bending his wrist in.
So towards him.
Towards him. What that's going to do, if you notice, his hand starts to open up and starts to loosen a little bit because I'm actually locking up his wrist joint.
So so he's in pain? Is that why he's loosening his grip, or just he doesn't have the strength?
It's dynamics of the body. As you curl your wrist, your hand will naturally want to open.
Okay, so but is he feeling pain there as well?
Oh yes, there is pain there, especially if he tries to keep his hand closed.
Okay.
So from here, I pinch it in.
Yep.
I place his elbow tight against my body. So now I'm basically going to turn his elbow.
So it's almost a bear hug. You are almost bear hugging his elbow.
Exactly. I'm holding his arm for everything I'm worth because I'm concerned about that knife. So I'm going to basically turn on my feet. I'm going to turn my hips the opposite direction. If you notice now, it's causing a great deal of stress on that shoulder.
So is this the balance we talked about in an earlier episode as well, correct?
Exactly.
Because so you're just shifting your weight.
I'm just, very little movement is all that's required.
Okay.
From here, I'm going to continue pushing down, taking him to the floor. Once he's on the floor, keeping the elbow again to my chest, I'm going to press his wrist in, which is causing a great deal of pain, which I could break his wrist. From here, since it's basically it's broken or extremely loose, I can pull the blade out of his hand now with ease. Keeping, if you notice, my weight is on him. I got my knee on him. I want to keep control over him still. I could break the wrist, step back. And one thing I always like to tell people, if you back up, scoop this wallet up and away with you.
And get your
possible.
And get your free burger coupons.
Exactly, but only do it if it's safe possible, because you are leaving very valuable information where you live in this wallet.
Perfect. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Kevin. We'll be right back on USD.
Here's a self-defense technique you can learn in less than a minute. And this is a hair grab from someone behind you. They grab your hair. First thing I want to do is I'll reach up, trap his hand. Because if I have his hands, I know where he is. From here, I'm going to lift my foot, and I'm going to stomp right on his foot. From here, that's going to loosen up his grip. I'm going to grab the meat of his pinky, roll his hand off my head. Again, his palm towards the sky. From here, I'm going to step back and out to make some space, some safety space. From here, I can push off his elbow for freedom. Let's try that one more time, a little quicker. So again, you're walking along, you could be sitting, someone grabs your hair. Trap it. Step to the side, stomp his foot. Peel his hand towards the sky. Step out. From here we can push away, or even better, we could strike him. Push yourself free to safety. There's one more tip to help keep you safe.
In our last scenario, Kevin, fed up after getting his butt kicked for 6 episodes, decides to take things up a notch. Oh, easy big fella, Jason's the one you want, and he's going to show you how to defend yourself from a knife to the throat. Jason, this scenario looks like it could be your Waterloo. Kevin looks pretty angry in this one.
But don't worry, we'll take control of this situation as well.
Of course we will.
So in this case, I'm pushed back against an object. The man comes at me.
I'll act as the wall here.
He has his knife to my throat. He's pushing me against the wall, for example, or an Insta teller. In this case, first thing I realize is I got to get this blade away from me.
Stay in and catch up with your favorite shows on RogersTV with our holiday marathons. Enjoy the Urban Self-Defense Marathon Thursday, December 29th, beginning at 12:30.
We've covered a lot of information in today's episode. Now, Jason, I know you have some tips for people at home on proper etiquette at the instant teller machine.
And that's right. And it starts off just reminding yourself that you are going to some place to get money. Okay? One thing to always remember, and I see this every day, do not leave the bank from the instant teller area putting your money in your wallet. You're just advertising for trouble.
Well, it's the same thing with texting, right? Because you're so focused on putting the money in your wallet, you have no idea who's around you.
Exactly. Same as when you do get that money from the instant teller, don't stand there and count it. Put it as quickly as possible away in your wallet, your purse, and get from there to your vehicle or someplace safe. That is when you take that moment to count that money.
Well, luckily, I'd only be getting probably one bill out of here anyway, so I wouldn't have to take the time to count. But people with a little bigger bank account, that's good advice. You don't want to sit there and counting, because if there's someone who's thinking about possibly robbing you, sees that you're still counting after 20 seconds, you're just becoming more attractive target.
Exactly. Another thing to remember about is a lot of people are actually depositing money as well. And at every bank machine, there's those envelopes. Take some of those envelopes home, put them in your glove box of your car, leave them at home in the counter, and that is where you fill your deposits out. Put that money in that envelope, so that way you're not there at the machine fiddling with your money, with your card, trying to put money in an envelope. That way you can go in, put your money in, and make it quick.
I mean, that's a great point. It seems like common sense, but I mean, I see it all the time. People are sitting there filling out checks and stuff. So it's really just being aware, right? You don't need to make wholesale life changes with a lot of these etiquette tips, right? It's just common sense and just being as safe as you can.
And another thing to watch out for is those really isolated instant tellers. The ones that are on the side of the street or way at the back of the mall. I tell people, try to avoid those, because they're just out, they're looking, you could find trouble there. If you don't have another choice, and if someone's with you, I always advise have one person doing the transaction and have the other person watching what's going on around them. They both shouldn't be staring at the machine, right? It only takes one person to get the money out. Your friend can look around and make sure there's no one coming up behind you or that seems out of place.
Well, I mean, if we were getting money out together, I wouldn't want you looking at the screen anyway, because I don't want you to get my account number.
Exactly.
So, what about instant tellers in a bank, right? Because sometimes it's not isolated, it's kind of not on its own, but it's still kind of especially at night, if there's no one inside, it can be kind of a scary area.
And that's the nice thing. They're usually fairly well lit, and you'll get to a lot of banks now that you physically have to use your swipe card to get inside that area. And those are the ones I really like, because once you're in there, you're safe. No one can come in with you unless, unfortunately, they deal with that bank as well. And once you're in there, you're in a well-lighted area. You can see, you can do all your transactions. And again, use your peripheral vision. Know what goes around you, because ultimately, you're only going to an instant teller either to take money out or put money in. You're not going to check the sports of the game, check the weather. You're there to get money in or out. So I always try to tell people, have one simple safety rule, and remember that you want to be in and out as fast and as safe as possible.
I actually take the same advice in my personal life, so there we go. For Jason Carter, I'm Mike Arsenault. We'll be back next week on Urban Self-Defense.
Way back, yeah, do like that.
Kevin, I see you found your knife. Let's see Jason get out of this one. Kevin, I see you found your knife. Let's see it.
Whoa, buddy. Take the knife.
All right. Ready? Yeah, big boot.
Well, it wasn't that hard. It always sounded dramatic.
In this last scenario, Kevin, fed up after getting his butt kicked for 6 episodes, decides to take things up a notch. No, really.